everybody, and welcome to Talking Scuba. I'm Bob Shoemaker, an advanced open water instructor.
And I'm not Jim Norton.
Actually, Jim just shaved up for the show and used a little anti-wrinkle cream, and this is what he looks like. Pretty good-looking guy. Just kidding. This is Cameron MacTavish. He is a recently certified dive control specialist, and he's going to kind of guest host with us while Jim is actually doing real work. So anyways, we are a weekly online talking show about scuba diving and everything in recreational diving. We'll be discussing everything from shallow reefs to cold, deep, cool wrecks, and also everything else in between. What are you drinking today, Cam?
I have a Guinness.
You're drinking Jim's Guinness. I'm actually drinking Oberon, the beer of summer, for all of us Michiganders and Midwesters. That's actually produced real locally here, just south of here in Kalamazoo. It's a pretty good beer. I want to mention before we get started on the show today, we are now accepting $5 donations on our website. With that donation, you will get 3 stickers. They're about this big. They look really good on tanks and as well as your vehicles as well. So $5 donations, you can get that through our website. Now, Cam, you just got back from a really nice trip down to Fiji, right?
Yeah, it's a real good time. I'd have to say that the highlight of the trip would probably be the 2 shark dives we did one day.
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
Oh, it was really cool. There's some bull sharks, lemon sharks, and nurse sharks. I guess a lot of times, too, tiger sharks will show up, but that time of year is, or I just screwed up. This time of year is when their mating season, I guess, and so they're off doing their thing elsewhere, so we didn't see any of them.
That would suck if you could only mate once a year.
Well, it's probably better than some people do.
That's true. At least you know for sure you're getting it once a year. What else did you guys see out on those dives?
Yeah, we saw some octopus that were really cool. Saw at least 2 of those. It's really neat to see them change color because one time I saw one and it was just sitting there like on a rock or a coral formation or something, and you just like glance at it, you'd swear that it was just a piece of coral.
Really?
But I happened to notice him, and I get down there and he just like kind of flash colors and stuff and swimming around. It was really pretty cool.
Huh. Yeah, that video you showed me it's really neat. Now, getting back to those shark dives, how did they set those shark dives up? Were you like in a cage, or how does that work?
No, actually we were in a group of about 20 people. Our dive boat of about 10 met up with a couple other dive boats, and the operator that was actually baiting the sharks in, and we all kind of met up and went down to the site. The first dive was about 80 feet. And for that one, we were behind a rope, and we had dive masters in front of us with sticks and stuff to keep the sharks away from us. One time it was like really neat. My dive buddy and I had a nurse shark swim right over our head. He actually reached up and touched it.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. You could just like feel the thrust from that tail coming off. It was amazing.
Now, you said there was nurse sharks, lemon sharks, and bull sharks?
Right.
And normally the bull sharks and the lemon sharks are kind of dangerous, aren't they? But you didn't have any problems with
No, we didn't have any problem, and surprisingly, I wasn't real nervous about it either. I mean, I kind of thought I would be, but I was just so amazed by it, and it was just amazing to see. It was really cool.
Now they feed those fish, right? Do they bait them in there? Is that how they get them there?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was frozen stuff or what it was, but I know a lot of times they'll like freeze like a big block of fish and
cut up chum stuff.
Yeah. And they had like a big couple garbage cans of this stuff down there. In fact, it kind of mucked up the first dive for me a little bit because it just happened to be right in front of us is where they were feeding them. So like all the junk from the bottom was getting stirred up in front of the camera lens.
Now you did 2 dives were actual shark dives, but you probably did some other dives as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a lot of really cool, colorful coral formations. I've been diving in the Keys before, and that's great and fun and everything. But the colors over there in Fiji were just something to be seen. It's like really neat.
What, besides the octopus and the sharks, you saw some other creatures as well, maybe some turtles or something?
Oh, yeah, we saw some turtles. One cool story, in between the shark dives, we were kind of swimming around looking at the bottom, seeing if we could find any shark teeth because, they lose their teeth quite easily. And I'm just, kind of swimming around looking at the ground. All of a sudden, my dive buddy comes and like hits me on top of the head. He's like, look. And like, sure enough, like right next to my head was this great big green moray eel.
Oh, wow.
And so I quick turn on the camera and put it up in front of him, and he comes right out and actually bumped my lens.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool.
Yeah, we'll show you guys that footage on the show. It's a really pretty neat shot. He did show that to me. Now, the only problem with going that far is you got a long-ass flight, don't you?
Yeah, it was super long. Going out there wasn't bad because you are excited, you have something to look forward to. So it wasn't too bad. Coming back was not fun. The flight from Fiji to LA was about 11 hours, I think.
Jeez.
And then, unfortunately, we had a 12-hour layover in LA. So a couple of the people I was with, we went and got a hotel room, watched TV, and got a pizza, and kind of wasted our time doing that. And that worked out all right. But then we were late taking off from LA, and consequently missed our flight from Chicago to Grand Rapids.
Oh.
And they couldn't get us on any other flight, so we had to drive home.
Oh.
So needless to say, that was a pretty long day.
Yeah. So you had to fly, you had to sit in LAX for 12 hours, and then once you did get into Chicago, you had to drive back to Grand Rapids, which is about another 3 hours.
Yeah, and this like the airline's like, well, we're sorry, we can give you a $5 food credit. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, that makes it better. I just want to go home.
Yeah, and at an airport with $5, you can buy like half of a muffin or something.
Yeah, or a bottle of water, sure.
Yeah. So you do a lot of local diving too with us. We do a lot of shipwreck diving and stuff together.
Right.
Yeah, we do. We go out on Jim's boat quite often. We've dove together up in the Keys. Now you also mentioned that you dove down in the Florida Keys. How do you like the diving down there?
I liked it a lot. I hope I'm not giving out any secrets here, but I went in the off season, and it was in October, a little over a year ago. And well, actually, it wasn't over a year ago. Almost. It was like, I don't know. It was back in October. Anyway, there was next to nobody down there. In fact, one of my dive days got canceled because they need so many people to go out on a boat. So the one day, it was just myself, the dive master, and one other guy, and that was really pretty cool. And then the second day, like I said, some of my dives got canceled, but at the last minute, some snorkelers signed up. So it was enough so they could justify running the boat. So we went out there, and it was just the dive master and me in the water. So that was really cool because he was pointing stuff out for me to photograph. And,
that's cool.
That was really neat.
So you spend a lot of your time like shooting video or shooting photographs and stuff like that. What kind of equipment do you use for that?
It's fairly inexpensive. I mean, inexpensive is kind of anything made for underwater is going to be expensive, but it's relatively inexpensive. It's a little flip video camera.
Okay.
Inside an Ike Light housing.
Okay. Yeah, I saw they're under $500 for just the housing and the camera or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, you get the camera and housing for right around $5. I think it's about $450 or so.
And then by the time you add on the wide angle lens and the filter and the extra lights and stuff, you're up about $1,000 or a little bit more.
Yeah. But
you do get some really cool footage. So all of the footage that you actually see from the Fiji trip, you were actually using that flip camera, correct? And that's just such a small unit. It's really easy. You didn't have any trouble carrying it.
No, and that was the nice thing. I could easily have it in a carry-on. And that way that thing was right with me the whole time. I didn't have to worry about it getting swiped by, the baggage handlers or anything like that.
Right. Well, Cam, I want to thank you for coming in and doing your interview today. It was a lot of fun having you here co-hosting with me.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. And I just want to remind all of you guys out there to visit us on Facebook and check us out on Twitter as well as on our website. We'd love to hear from you guys. Leave some comments, email us. You can email us at askus@talkingscuba.com. And cheers to the next drink.